We back in. Hey, how y'all doing? Hope everything is well. Listen, we're about to wrap up. 2025 is near and dear, and I'm just thankful for the couple of episodes that I've dropped. This is the 5th episode today, and I'm excited for what's to come. I'm excited for new collaborations. I'm excited hosts and just new content, things that I'm able to give from things that I've went through, things that others have been through, just encouraging somebody through something. Life doesn't stop, keeps going. And so we want to make sure that we continue to encourage, to uplift, to inspire, to do all those things, right? Because it's important and it's free. So I thank y'all for tuning in again. Just a view, again, like I always tell y'all, let me know what's going on. If you want to be a part of the collaboration, you want to come on to the pod and talk about what has encouraged you, what has inspired you, what has motivated you, what has done something to help you grow, right? Something that helped you becoming a better version of yourself. Let's collaborate. Let's do it. Let's do this, and let's reach one and teach one. So I'm excited. Again, thank y'all for tuning in. Thank y'all for commenting. Thank y'all for just giving me insight and constructive criticism. I really do appreciate y'all. So before we go into this episode, before we tap in, we gotta make sure that we praise the Most High. So as I do, by His, we gonna give a little word. We thank you today because you are good. Thank you for allowing us another day and another opportunity at this thing that we call life. You've given us all this time, all these days in this year, in 2024. So we're thankful for the growth. We're thankful for the insight. We're thankful for the revelations. We're thankful for the discernment. We're thankful for the things we had to go through to help us become who we are at this very moment. And we're still growing. So today's content, hope and pray that it touches somebody, help uplift them, help give them insight, help give them revelation, help nourish their hearts and their minds today from your words, not mine, because I'm only a vessel of yours. So I give thanks to you, Father God, for being so good, for being so gracious to all of us. Thank you for extending your love and showing us love each and every day. So in the mighty, most precious, most heavenly name, I lift this prayer unto thee. And I say amen to your will. And I say amen to your way. All right, so listen, let's get it. So the title for today is we're going to be talking about brothers. You know what I mean? We're going to be talking about to my fellas. So the title today will be Encouraging Men and Establishing True Brotherhood. There's going to be a series on this, but I wanted to start it out in regards to this just for today. It's going to be a series on this topic. So I'm excited for what's to come from this topic or this session for today. So encouraging men and establishing true brotherhood. So as I was reading and studying and just going through my thought process on all of this, a question that I wrote down is, why is it hard to create space for us as black men? Why is that hard? So I was watching an episode, or watching another content creator, and he was talking about how simple it is just to be encouraging, right? So quite often for myself personally, like I may post like outfit I may have on or something I just threw on, right? And in my mind, it's simple. I don't think about, like if somebody saying like, Taj, that's clean, this, that, and that. I just post it because I like it, right? But it's different when fellow friends, peers, partners, brothers, homeboys, best friends, when they say, hey bro, you clean, that thing clean. It's a different type of feeling. Also, if a special young lady sitting there talking to you and saying, oh my God, baby, you look clean, you fine, you handsome, that makes a man feel a certain way. But it's quite often when a stranger, somebody you don't know, say, hey bro, you got that drip on, hey bro, you put that together, hey bro, you clean. It makes you feel, common. They simply just encourage you. They simply just made a remark about maybe how you smell, fresh haircut, how you look. You put that drip on, boy, you're dropping gems because, the drip crazy. Like, simple encouragement. And we don't get that quite often, or why we don't create that type of space for each other every day. So, again, my question is, why is it hard? Why is it like it got to be a negative thing? Like, boys, like, so let's create that space to where like we can encourage each other, but it's not in a negative Wait, but $1,000,000, brother. Just know I tell you, if it smell good, I'm gonna be like, "But what you got on?" I compliment you just cause it's a salute, and that's all it is. And that's something that I want to do. I tell my friends that I think we need to make sure that we create space just for us as black men, especially us as black men. So I charge it, and I'm gonna say this for sure. Like, I think, we need to make sure that we do that. So let's try. Let's put forth effort in doing that to encourage each other, but also just to compliment. Simple compliment. So, let's try it. Let's see what we can do. 2025, start now, but let's see what we can do in 2025, and let's make sure that we do that for each other. Create space, right? So, also just made me think about certain things that we go through in life. But the story of Jacob and Esau, right? Brotherhood, brothers. As we know in the story, if y'all haven't read it, make sure y'all go back and read it. Jacob, younger brother. Esau, older brother. If you don't know the story, I'm not gonna go through all that tonight, but make sure y'all go read that story about Jacob and Esau. It put a lot of things in perspective. Just put a lot of things in perspective, and it just give you a different understanding and revelation about life and what you're going through, and especially within family, friends, all of that. So I went on to say, even how significant that story is. Think about the dad. Think about Isaac in that story. He created so much space for his sons, right? Even, they twins. So as far as, just different things, firstborn, and then, second later. As being the dad, he was so obedient. However, there was trials and tribulations that still occurred, but there was also some betrayal, there was some hurt, some pain, and some deceit, and all of that. So that's why that story is so much to unpack from that story, but it's so good. So going back to establishing true brotherhood, right? Establishing, what it is that we need to make sure that we do for one another. Like, it's important, y'all. So, part of that story, Esau, he was upset about everything. How his brother deceived his dad in regards to like taking the birthright, just all of that. But even though Esau was upset, he ran to his brother and embraced him. He could have, done away with him just because of the deceit that Jacob done to cause all of this to Esau and taking his birthright and just all those different things. But Esau didn't do that. Esau embraced him and told him that he loved him. But Jacob was so caught up and wrapped up because he knew that he was wrong. Conviction, right? Conviction. So, when you feel some type of way, that's that conviction. Especially if you done something you ain't got no business, or being deceitful. It's just those different things, right? So that's why Jacob felt the way that he felt. He still extended grace. Esau still extended grace, right? So he created that space to love his brother in spite of Jacob's actions, his motives towards him. So in today's time, right now, 2024, let's make sure that if we're going into 2025 with any of that, let's make sure that we extend grace. Everything might not always work out the way that we think it should, but at least that you've done your very best. Everything, it will work out, just not in your timing, in his, right? So we give it to him. Don't be Indian givers. Try to take it back. Let him work it out, but do what you can. Let him do the rest. He will take on your burdens, and he'll give us his burden, which is light, right? So even in situations that we may be going through, and I'm saying this because I have to do this for myself, right? So everything that I be telling y'all, everything I get on this pod and I'm talking about, I'm saying it because I have to live it. I'm saying it because I've been through it or I'm going through it. So hear me and hear me clear. Extend grace, because it's worth it in the end. We don't see it in the beginning, but it's worth it in the end. So extend grace, right? You got to be Esau. Regardless of anything, extend that grace, right? And make sure y'all go read that story. Like, it's some things that be in that book. Everything, it ain't nothing new under the sun that was in that book, within the book of the Bible. Go read them stories. Go get understanding. Go get it. 2025, I challenge you all. I challenge the brothers to not only just encourage each other, to compliment, to do those things, create that space, but also I challenge you to literally get in the book, to read it, to get understanding, because everything that you're going through is beneficial to you and people that's around you. We need it. So make sure y'all do that. Also, with extending grace, we as men gotta also learn how to accept grace from unexpected sources, right? It's very hard, I think, from time to time for us to accept the grace from unexpected sources. But get me clear, there's a purpose and a reason for all things. We may not understand it in the moment, but as the old folks would say, by and by, you're going to get it and it's going to make sense, right? It's going to make all the sense in the world. So make sure that you learn how to accept grace for unexpected sources, for sure. You know, ask for discernment on a lot of things, right? It's like a filter. Everything ain't always usable. But when we start pouring that content through that filter, it sifts out the stuff that we don't need and we discard it. But take what you need and discard what's not worth you having. And so accepting the unexpected, accepting that grace through unexpected sources. So let's make sure we do that in 2025 too, right? About to hit us with something. Accountability and vulnerability. Let's make sure we identify in ourselves self-doubt, insecurity, and fraud, the facade of it all. Let's make sure that we are doing that. Hold yourself accountable. Don't be accountable for the things that you do. Quite often, I always say every action has a reaction. You don't know how the reaction gonna be, but guess what? There is one, and be accountable for your action. Because we don't know how no one is going to perceive what you have done, what you said, and all this other stuff. So every action has a reaction. Be ready. I would say, be ready though, because we don't know. People perceive things so differently. No matter what's like a text message. I'm gonna say, if you got an attitude, how you gonna be able to read? What I'm saying? If I got an attitude through a text message, you're only assuming. So let's make sure that we identify in ourselves things that we know that we need to work on, things that we know that that is not the best of ourselves. Self-doubt, for sure. I can tell you in 24, boy, listen, I've had some self-doubt. Insecurity, for sure. And fraud, for sure. But it helped me grow. It's helped me understand. It's helped me look at certain things to have a better insight, better perspective, a common ground on things that I have to personally deal with. Instead of looking at someone else's situation, it's really just me taking a mirror and saying, how can you do something better? How can you be better in this situation? So let's make sure that we take time out to go over those things in ourselves. Self-doubt, insecurity, and fraud. Let's make sure we do that, right? Even with that, I want to say this too. No, we are not perfect. However, with the grace extended from God, our imperfections is perfect ground for Him to work. Listen, our imperfections is perfect ground for Him to work, right? So quite often we hear, the verse and it's saying, and I may say this a little bit wrong, it's like, He doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the call. I may have said that wrong. So charge my head and not my heart to that, y'all. But, so it's the same thing. Like, God ain't looking for you to be perfect, for Him to use you or your situation. No, He just say, come to me, I got you. I take care of you. I'll make everything all right. Just believe in me, be steadfast, believe, trust and know that I can and that I will. And everything's gonna work out for the greater good. So there's no, let me get myself together, then I'm gonna go to Him. You ain't gonna be together. You're not, right? So get that out your mind, right? And let's make sure that, your imperfection is perfection. And He can use you. Like, when we go read this wood, right? Think about David. And if anybody read the story about David, David was that guy. But he's also the same guy that, guess what, that was chasing after God's own heart, right? So if He used David, He used you, right? So just know that. Ain't nobody exempt, right? I can't use you. Yes, He can. And He wants to. And he's so eager. He's ready for you to be like, Lord, here it is. And you give it to Him and watch how He just make way out of no way, right? And when He does that, it goes back to what I was saying before. Maybe you might have some friends or people in your life, right? How to accept grace from unexpected sources. Because in one season, somebody might look at you and say, man, dog, Taj, you doing that. And the next season, guess what? God done changed my life tremendously. So now you're able to accept some grace from that season before. You probably it would have never been a thing. And then the next season, He's done changed my mindset, my perspective, my heart, right? Now you're able to receive grace from an unexpected source, because I ain't who I was before. I'm renewed in my mind and in my spirit and my heart. So be mindful of that, y'all. So let's make sure, Let's do it. Let's give it to him. Let's make sure that we, coming in 2025, let's make sure that we are intentional. Let's make sure that we are being consistent. Let's make sure that we are being vulnerable and accountable. 2025. So be consistent, for sure. Be consistent. It's a world of difference when you're doing those things. And he's working on me. So again, I'm telling y'all, he's working. And yeah, we must do that. So let's make sure of it. So I want to lead and leave, y'all with something, especially with this episode 5. Just some more good things, right? But just know, everybody, there's a purpose for your life. It's a reason why you go through what you go through. It ain't just, God is not a coincidence. He's never that. Pay attention, be mindful of the things that you're going through and how it's not simply about you. It's about someone else around you is benefiting from everything that you go through. You never know who's watching you. You never know who's paying attention. You just never know, right? So be mindful of that. Trust, believe, and have hope. 2024 was a doozy of a year, for everybody. In 2025, we're going to go in and we're going to have hope. We're going to believe and we're going to know for a fact that we're going to make it through, but we're going to make every day count as much as we possibly can. Because we're going to be vulnerable, we're going to be accountable, and we're going to be consistent in all that we do. So to all my men out there, to all the men, but especially my black kings, not against nobody else, but I'm talking to the black kings, to the black men out there. You are valued and of value in every situation that you are in. I'm going to say this one more time. You hear me clear? To my black kings out there, you are valued and of value in every situation you are in. Know that, believe that, understand that, and receive that. Listen, God gave me something earlier within the week, and it blew my mind. Because when I first started this podcast, I told y'all the mantra was like, the whole thing, encouragement is free. And I was coming from the gym and I was riding. I was just thinking about the pod. I was thinking about just the whole year, like everything, just stuff. And I was thinking about everything, and I was thinking about how good God was to me, like situations, circumstances, how good he is, right? And he dropped something on me, and I was just like, man, how you do me like that? But he said, eternally, I'm favored simply because the encouragement God surrenders to me is free. So he constantly encourages us daily. He tells us to keep trusting, keep holding on to my unchanging hand, lean not to your own understanding. Greater is he that is in me than he who's of this world. He also was reminding me, he said, and it's something that I say on all my podcasts before I end it, but he told me, he said, you don't owe me nothing, but you owe me your life, because that's mine. And he only said that because he said, I do it again and again. I do it for you over and over again. So he is very much intentional, never failing. So that's the pod. Hey, again, appreciate you all for tuning in. I appreciate you all for even, leaving comments or even saying, what you may think or any of that stuff. I sincerely appreciate you all. I started this part at the latter end of August of 24. And here I am, December, what's the date? The 29th? December 29th, 24. And I'm still learning, I'm still growing. I'm excited for what's to come in 25, right? So another episode will be, of course, we're coming with them, and I'm excited what's to come. So again, what I'm saying, to all of y'all, to everybody, God said you don't owe me anything, but you don't owe me anything, everything, which is your life. So let's make sure that we be consistent, we be accountable, and we be vulnerable within this year. Let's make sure we challenge to make space for us as men. Let's make space for each other. A simple compliment goes a long way. From brother to brother, from sister to brother, it goes a long way. But from brother to brother, a simple compliment goes a long way. So let's make sure we do that, right? Let's make sure that when we create that space, let's also make sure that we extend grace, within whatever that we're going through, whatever situation that we may be encountering this year. Let's make sure we're able to extend grace to the next year, to not harbor or to fester or to have things follow us into 25. So with that being said, I appreciate you all. I really do. Thank you all for even checking in, tapping in with me. Make sure that y'all follow the link for the YouTube. It's in my bio on my IG. Encouragement is free. Make sure y'all tap in, share with somebody. Let's end the year in a great way. And all that you do, know that you are valued. And you are valued in every situation that you are in. I appreciate you all. Much love. My love to you. And let's finish this year strong. All right. I'll talk to y'all later. I'll see you on the next episode. I'll holler at y'all.